Hey guys, welcome to Let's Color Sunday. I'm going to be working in Ladies of Leisure 3 by Zan Von Zed. And this is one of my favorite artists and coloring book series to work in. And I just thought it would be fun to play around with doing the hair on this page. I think it's the first time that I've actually been able to get more of like an auburn color hair. And it not be super orangey, I guess, is what what I'm trying to say. So I'm really excited about how our hair is turning out, and I thought it'd be fun just to kind of share with y'all how I'm, getting this combo. We're gonna get started on the hair, and these are the colors that I'm using for the hair color. It's dark umber, terracotta, burnt ochre, and pumpkin orange. Then I always like to have a white Prisma or whatever colored pencils you're using on hand to really get that highlight effect going. So I've just been having fun playing around with this, and I think a lot of I'm starting with the darkest color, which is the dark umber. I think a lot of what was kind of throwing me off with my auburn hair color I was trying to do in the past is that I was using not enough of the dark brown, I think. So I'm really going in there with the dark umber to create a lot more of that dark shaded color in the hair, and I'm really liking how it's turning out. If you can't tell, I've talked about it a lot enough, but I hope everyone's doing well, and hello. I am trying to get back to filming more. I know I say that every time I get on here, but it's been some pretty hot days at work, so I'm pretty drained by the time I get home. So not a lot of energy to kind of sit down and color, but I'm hoping, that I will start doing it a little bit more. Then terracotta is just kind of like a really nice orangey red color, and kind of starts making, I go over that dark umber to kind of start making that like less brown color and more of a reddish tone to it. But yeah, I'm going to try and do a little bit more. And so I'm going to have this Let's Color Sunday for this coming up Sunday, and which I think is it the 27th, maybe? And of July. But I may be wrong because I don't have a calendar with me. And I'm going to try and work on a few things so that way you're not just watching one thing forever, because I know that could probably get pretty boring. And then I'm going to go in with burnt ochre. And just kind of add in that, making it closer towards the center of that section. And then pumpkin orange. Kind of a little tad bit of that. And just I like using this color to kind of blend all these colors a little bit better together, I guess. Make them a little bit more coherent. And then, oh, I think I forgot to mention, I'm also using goldenrod with this as well. I don't know why I forgot to include this one, but I'm also using the goldenrod color. And this I'm just going to go over like the whole thing, really light-handed. And then taking the white, going in the center here, just to kind of create that like shiny hair effect. And then doing some touching up, where you feel like it kind of needs it. With, any of the colors really, to kind of add like those like lines in there for the hair strands. But kind of fun though, creating different styles and color for the hair. I like doing it a lot. And that's all I've been doing, and I've been really happy with it. I think it looks really good. And then it's kind of like her hair is kind of behind her neck here, so I'll probably go a little bit more with the dark umber in this section. Because it would probably be pretty shadowy. But yeah, with my hair, I like taking it one section at a time, and this is a terracotta. But yeah, July's kind of flown by, and so I'm gonna be honest, I haven't got much coloring done at all. But that's just how it is sometimes. And then burnt ochre. Pumpkin orange. And goldenrod for the center here. And sometimes I do like to kind of add it to the darker parts because it kind of creates a little bit of a hair strand effect, going over the darker color with the lighter one. And then just doing some of the touching up. Maybe going over it one last time with the golden color to really give it a little bit more brightness kind of in the highlight. I didn't know at the time what color I was going to do her hair, but I'm glad I went with green eyes because it looks really good with the hair. But yeah, taking it a section at a time I feel like is very kind of relaxing. Just kind of get into the zone and the repetitive part of the hair color combo. Sometimes it can be very tedious, and I do have to be in a certain mood to want to work on something like this, but it is fun. I like it. Because the end result is always fun to see how it turns out. And if you're ever unsure about colors working together, like always keep a scrap piece of paper and just kind of play around with that and layering them to kind of get an idea for how they'll work together, which is usually what I do. Sometimes I do just kind of jump in there with no rhyme or reason, just kind of randomly picking colors and thinking that it'll turn out, or at least hoping for the best. And most of the time it does turn out. I was going to do a coloring plans video, but I knew I probably wouldn't get around to it, so with like getting a lot of coloring done this month. So I just kind of didn't end up doing that. Oops, drop some. And it's a lot of fun coloring braids too. I really enjoy coloring those. I was very intimidated at first to color braided hair sections, but I feel like I've gotten pretty used to it. And this is really pretty hair too. I've really been enjoying watching like some of the coloring YouTube channels where they've been ranking their coloring books that they like by artist, I guess. And I've really been liking watching, I think it's Elm Colors. She's been doing videos where she ranks her books, and it's been a lot of fun to watch that, and it kind of makes me think kind of like what my favorite one, for example, out of the Ladies of Leisure is. And I think this number 3 is actually a really good one. I don't know if I'd say it was my favorite, but out of the 3, I'd have to really sit down and look at all 3 of them. But I really do like this. Well, there might be 4. Maybe. Yeah, I think there is 4, actually. But see, yeah, either way, it's one of my favorite ones in the series of those books. It's probably one of my most colored in books is the Lady of Leisure books by Zan Von Zed, is it? Yeah, I always get it backwards. But I got it right that time. But unfortunately, I was working on I've had a lot of bad luck lately with editing, and I was working on a color along from Portrait of the Mermaid, and it ended up getting messed up, so I had to kind of abandon that project. And I feel so bad because I worked really hard on it, and then it didn't work out. But sometimes, you know, it happens. And that's okay. I do feel bad about it, though. But it was kind of getting to be frustrating, so I just decided that it just wasn't going to happen. I want a little bit less. Kind of add a little bit more in there. And then the goldenrod. And then going in with the white to kind of add that kind of highlighted shiny hair look. And just kind of touching up. And that's what I've been doing for this auburn hair, and I think it's looking good. I know I've said that, but I won't bore y'all too much with working on this hair. But yeah, I'm just using these. Actually, I probably told you wrong in the beginning. It's that dark umber, burnt ochre. Well, it goes, the order I'm using them is dark umber, terracotta, burnt ochre, pumpkin orange, and then goldenrod, and then also the white prisma. And that's how I'm getting those that auburn color hair. And so I just thought it'd be fun to share that with y'all. And hopefully I'll get this hair finished and keep on working on this page so it'll be complete. I am a little bit disappointed in how I did her eyelashes. That's something I struggle with, and I didn't do them very good at all. But I'm not gonna worry about it because it's still coming together, so it's not the end of the world. Maybe if I keep working on the eyelashes, I'll eventually get a little more confident with those. But yeah, just gotta keep trying sometimes. But I love this book so much, and I can't wait to have a completed book. I don't know, I might should keep on working in one of these books exclusively, kind of pick which one I want to work in, because I have a lot of finished pages in this one, and I think it might be the one I have the most finished pages in. But I need to sit down and kind of look. But I really love pretty much every single page. It is kind of weird sometimes when they're kind of floating without like that rest of like her legs, I guess. But I guess it's not. It's still cool though. I really like her hair. It's a really cool hairstyle. That one's really pretty too. I like the background of this one and the shading. It's not completely grayscale, but it's subtle, you know, and enough detail there to really help you kind of figure out the features of her face, which I love. One of the things I love about the Zan Von Zed books, The Lady of Leisure. I want to say this one's probably my favorite one of this book, because I just love the dog, and her dress is really pretty. I definitely want to work on this one, but I don't always start with my most favorite page sometimes because I guess I'm just nervous about it. Like that one too. And that one, you know, been working on it. I love this one also. It's very unique. And that reminds me of something, but I don't know what. Surprisingly, a lot of detail on the little bats as well. That one's nice too. Like that one. The horse is really pretty. And sometimes I do find it a little challenging with these books also when like the eyes aren't kind of drawn in. But it'd still be fun to work on those. I love the flowers around and like the leaves. Kind of like make it a little framed photo. And this one's, I guess, kind of like Princess and the Frog themed, which I always love it when those are, when that's a theme. I think I've colored it at least once before, maybe twice. Apparently it's something I color a lot. Oh, and I got one more finished. I forgot about this one. I like that one a lot. I like the bright blue of her like hat and the bodice. I think that turned out cool. That one's also really good too. But yeah, I need to keep working on it because I would love to have a finished book. I love this one too. It's not, it's kind of simple, but I think it would be challenging because I'm not really sure if she's kind of like a robot or something, because she's got a little bit interesting like parts to her body. This one's also really nice too. I like the mushrooms. I think that's the last one in this book. But yeah, getting close to finishing, or well, not finishing it, but closer than any other book I own probably in this Ladies of Leisure 3. Okay, next I wanted to color in this new Japanese coloring book I got recently. I wanted this one for a while, and so I kind of ended up getting it. And it's, I think, Polar Bear Adventure Cruise, maybe. And I think the main characters that show up in the pages are the polar bear and this bunny. So it's super adorable, and I really was impatient to get started in this one. And I've been working on this little bunny, and I thought, it's not too big of a page, be kind of a nice one to start out with. And I did try to make the bunny look a little bit like the one on the front cover. And there are sometimes some sample pages in these books. But yeah, see, kind of gives you an example. So I was kind of going for that same look as it is here. But this bunny is a lot wider than this one. This one ended up looking a little bit more kind of gray color going on, but super cute. And I love the little frog. So I got the bunny pretty much done, and I thought I should start working on the greenery. And I'm using Polychromos Faber-Castell pencils. I was going to use leaf green and dark Thalio green. I'm just kind of starting out with, I did add some colors down, but I don't know, I didn't end up liking those as much, so I'm going to kind of go for a different direction. And kind of see where it goes from there. But this book is so cute. I've been really into coloring in these, I don't know if they're the same kind of, from the same publisher, at least I know they're not all the same artist, but these Japanese books, I've really been enjoying coloring in them lately. I really want to go bright green with a lot of the leaves around, and I might do a little bit of maybe for this one, purple and green, I was thinking. So it's not too much green. I got a little more work done on the hair, but still have a long way to go. Probably should have sharpened these. I'm always having to keep track of my sharpener. It'd probably be a little easier to color if I had the sharpener, or had my pencil sharpened. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Sometimes the beginning of the really hot days in summer, which had been, probably mid-July, I just don't feel like coming home and coloring, which is disappointing, but I'm not going to force myself every day, so I work outside, so I end up getting pretty hot during the summer. But I do love getting to be outside. But it is really hot, so I think it's laying down a little bit better now that it's the pencils are sharper. I think I use polychromos on the bunny. It's taken a few layers to kind of get it how I want it to look. I will say sometimes like plants and leaves and stuff in general are not my favorite thing to color. But it's so beautiful when you actually, when I get done with it and it's a completed page. But I wanted it to be really kind of bright and tropically, I guess. I think this book, they're going to different islands, kind of different themed islands on their polar bear adventure cruise. And so it's really fun to kind of see the different themes of each island. I was trying to think. I really love this page, and I debated on I might just start this one after I finish this one I'm working on, because I just love all the little crabs and it's adorable. I'm not sure what that creature is. Maybe a little fox or something. I think I've seen one in the beginning of the book. There's a little fox-looking friend there. But anyway, I know I'm getting sidetracked, but I guess they save it. It's like marooned on this island, if that's the word you use for that. Stranded. Anyway, that's my favorite page in this book. So cute. There's a Kaneko Agusa page that I need to work on that I've been working on for years, and it's a beach themed page with a bunny and a frog, and it's probably going on 3 years of not being finished. I really need to get that one out and work on it, because I don't know, it seems like a good thing to color for the summer. That looks pretty good. I'm just playing around, I'm not really looking to have it perfect. And I might do some touching up as well. That one I already had a little bit more color laid down, and so it might look a little weird with the other colors underneath those pencils, but probably no turning back now. I'm committed to these colors. Maybe add a little bit of a lighter layer alongside that darker kind of. I tried to make the ears look similar to, he has kind of like a darker color hair on the top of his ears, and I just thought it turned out really cute. Yeah, see, I'm doing a lot less on this section, and I think it looks a little better. Try a, is that like a frond? Palm frond? I swear I know words, I just don't know them after I've been out in the heat all day. Leaf? It's not a leaf because it's bigger. Anyway. And I think I might go with a little bit of like a light blue color for the background, but I'm gonna keep like, has lines kind of already printed on the paper, and so I'll probably leave those alone, just let them kind of stay how they look and not mess with it. But I might add a little bit of something for the background, I guess. And the ground, probably gonna make it sandy colored. And then go from there. This green color is almost like a bluish color. It's very pretty. The green colors in the Polychromos are pretty spot on, like some of my favorites. I'm then going in with the leaf green. It's looking pretty good. I will have to go in with some colors. I'm not really sure at the moment to kind of touch some of it up. But I don't think it's the worst I've done ever, I guess. I don't know, sorry. I try not to be critical of my coloring, but it is giving me a little bit of trouble with blending it all out. Sorry. It also took me a while to get that sentence out. I think I'll take a break from the palm tree thing. I don't know if that's really what it is, but I'm sure it's an actual plant of some sort. I think I might work on the little frog. So I just got a couple green colors, like May green and light green. And it wasn't, kind of looks like it has like a little, I don't know if its belly would be a different color. I'm going to do like cream for the middle part, and then the May green, go in with some of that. Just kind of making my way around. Such a cute little frog. Definitely going to be a lot of green on this page. Then the light green color, I'm just going to take that over top of the whole frog. Thinking about putting little like dots on the frog, but I don't know. Kind of looks like he already has something going on. Going with a little bit of this green color. Whoops. Just add a little bit of like texture to the little frog. I tell you, I can take the longest time on the smallest like details. This is a really bright cadmium yellow lemon, maybe. Kind of brighten him up a little bit. I think I'm going to do a blue little, because he's got a little scarf too. And I love the sky blue in this set. It's very pretty. Alright, at least I have the two little main guys in this picture completed. And so then maybe the rest of it will come along and be a little bit, you know, easier. I just probably not going to overthink it too much because there's a lot of greenery. Just kind of have fun doing different variations of green. But I think they're super adorable. Okay, so I'm starting out with cobalt blue. It's the darkest of the colors. And I'm just trying to kind of figure out I don't know if that's supposed to be like a different kind of fabric for the sleeve, but I'm going to go with the same colors, just make the inside parts here a lot darker. So just kind of making it up as I go along, but I was a bit unsure if this would be like two different colors or what. And so the outer layer here, it's kind of like raised up. I'm gonna do just a lighter kind of blue color. So, you know, here goes nothing. But it was, it's, I think, well, it's Saturday, and so it's the end of my work week, so I'm pretty excited. And I hope to get this posted for Sunday morning, hopefully. And, but yeah, I always feel a little bit more, you know, awake knowing that I don't have to go to work tomorrow. It's always nice. I definitely got this one a lot darker than that first one. But I kind of wished I would have went darker with the first one, so just to have a little bit more of the contrast of colors. I hope I don't know if it's like the cicadas, but I hope they're not being too loud. They are pretty loud, actually, this time of year. And that was the ultramarine, and this is the sky blue color. Just gonna go over kind of the whole thing. It's really pretty combo together. That would make a really like gorgeous, like night sky background. But I just love the artwork and the Disney Sleeping Beauty. And I wish I would have thought through my color palette a little bit more. But I think I just kind of want to have fun creating just random colors, I guess, my normal process. I do like that that's a little bit darker. So I'd like to take, not the darkest color, but the ultramarine, and kind of outline this section of the sleeve. And kind of go in there. Just like a really light layer. But yeah, I'm very much ready for fall to start because the heat is killing me. Not really, I suppose that's dramatic, but I'm very tired of being super hot all day. So just like a little bit of a light layer of that color in the sky blue. And then the Prismacolor Cloud Blue to just kind of blend it all together. I do hope this doesn't look like blue jeans. I didn't think about that. Oh well, I'm gonna shut up. I'm just gonna keep going. It would be fun to play around with that like sparkle effect that I did in one of my coloring pages. But I don't know. I may or may not. Maybe not. Missed a spot over here earlier. It's almost like a pattern, kind of, on the bodice and the sleeve of her dress. I don't know. Almost looks like flowers, maybe. Kind of mosaic pattern there. But I probably will just go with the solid color. But yeah, I haven't had a lot of time for coloring this week. So I'm happy to get to sit down and do a little bit of it with y'all, hang out a little bit. I read a book, and I think it was called Aunt Dimity's Death, maybe, but it was kind of like a paranormal mystery type book, but it wasn't like a murder mystery, and it was really good. It was a very sweet book, and it had a really sweet ending. And then I listened to Wish You Were Here, which is a really cute book, and it is a murder mystery. And the main character has a cat and a dog, and the cat's name's Miss Murphy, and the dog's name is, Tucker, maybe. And so they kind of can communicate, and you, as you know, the audience, know that they're communicating to each other and other animals, but of course the owner doesn't, hear that, just regular cat and dog noises. And so it's kind of funny because they help solve the murder mystery, and so I just thought that was a very unique idea. I liked it a lot. And the author is Rita Mae Brown, and also Sneaky Pie Brown, which is her cat, and I just thought that was really sweet too. Just something, you don't read every day. But yeah, I've got to stay out of the bookstore because I have a lot of books, and I've been trying to get through a lot of the books I have before I buy any more. I think it's, a reasonable thing, but then, it's just so fun to buy books, coloring books, regular books. I just like all the books. But I'm trying to, at least read like 20 books that I like, physical copies of the books, before I go back to my secondhand bookstore. It's just so easy because to kind of get caught up in getting too many sometimes, because it's donation based, and so sometimes they get some like books donated, and they are kind of the ones I've been looking for, and they won't be there forever. So it's easy to kind of convince myself, well, I better go and look, because they won't have these books again, so I might as well go take a peek and see what I can find. And I always find something, so. But it makes me happy. I enjoy going and looking. And my current obsession is definitely the cozy murder mysteries and like whodunits like that. I found a old Agatha Christie book last time I went, and I was excited about that. It was a older hardback print, and so I thought that was a nice little find. But I'm trying to read like 20 books. I don't know if I said that before I go back and buy any more books. And it's also like hard to kind of, you know, resist going because, like I said, it's a secondhand bookstore, so you can buy like, I don't know, almost 20 books for less than the price of a brand new hardback book. And I just kind of, I don't know, it's just like a little treasure hunt almost. Finding like the older books that are still very good, just not, you know, recently released books. But yeah, sorry to talk about books for so long. I'm gonna go with that sky blue. I don't think it looks like blue jeans, right? It might. It might look like a pair of blue jeans for her sleeve here. But I still like it. And this is the color I want to kind of use. It's kind of a muted, like purpley blue color. And hopefully this doesn't look like blue jeans as well. No, I don't think it will. I thought it would be pretty for the background. I'm really hoping that it doesn't dry out. I probably mentioned before that I have been neglecting my collection of alcohol markers, and so they may not be in the best condition, and I don't want to waste them, so I've been trying to use them more. But I think that's a pretty color, and I think it'll be pretty when I get the pencils over top this alcohol marker base for the background. So that's the goal. Oh, I just realized there's a little bird sleeping. I seen the mouse, but I didn't see that bird. But yeah, I think that's gonna look good. I wanted it to be kind of like a moody background, so that dark bluebell color will probably do. I kind of just wanted to test it out and see what it looked like kind of in there. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna play around with some colors for the rest of the dress. And I just have like the Polychromos Crimson, and then light magenta, and then I got the Prisma Hot Pink and Deco Pink. And just kind of see what happens. Hopefully it will turn out. Need it to be kind of dark under the sleeve here. But I decided it would be nice to kind of do two different colors. For the rest of the dress, do kind of like a purpley pink color. And this is the crimson color. And then the light magenta. I don't know what color to do this kind of frilly part. So kind of holding off on that part. And then hot pink. I want to make that just a little bit darker. And then the Deco pink, which is a lot lighter. Kind of go over everything with that. Still probably have a long way to go, but I think it's looking pretty good. It's a good starting point. I'm debating whether or not to like kind of go over like the lines there. I don't know. I just kind of keep it as is and just keep on doing this. And the light magenta. And that hot pink. I got in a good layer of that to the around the edges of the sleeve here. Kind of in the center. I think Christine Karen has a new book coming out, and I don't know if it's new designs. I think it comes out like August 8th maybe. and I do not remember what the title is, but it's almost like her, I guess, wildflower folk book, and so kind of a bit of a, I guess, better quality maybe. It's got like thicker paper, and but I don't know if it's just kind of in the same thing, like the wildflower folk had a lot of like her most recent designs, but I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about it. All I know is she's got one coming out soon, and probably will end up getting it because I love her work so much, and it's nice to have kind of that copy. It's got kind of better paper, but I do pretty well with this Amazon printed paper. It just takes a little bit of kind of getting used to. But not that it still doesn't frustrate me, because it does. And this is the Deco Pink. Actually, I really like it. I feel like it's light enough and you can kind of subtly see that pattern showing through. It would be crazy to color those like green. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with those parts. But yeah, I'm so glad I've gotten a good start on this page, and you know, it could only get more done from here. And I really like how the her little bit of clothes that's showing is turning out. She really doesn't have that much of her dress showing, so I don't have too much to go with that. So it's nice to have this kind of planned out. And I really am tempted to go in with sparkly effect kind of in the center of the sleeves. Would it be a mistake? I don't know. Maybe I'll do it real quick. We'll just see how it looks. Okay, I got this much darker, like reddish blue, and trying to, I don't know if I showed anybody anything that was on that just now, but this color, and just gonna start with this one and just try kind of dotting little dots around the edge here. Dang it. Get that off there. But it's fun to play around with it. And so then I'm going to go in with the cobalt blue. Just kind of pick up where I left off. Just kind of taking my time. And then ultramarine. And then instead of the sky blue, I'm going to go in with the cobalt green. Just kind of want to brighten it up in the center with a little bit of a contrasting color, I guess, to kind of break up those similar colors. Okay, so just kind of working on making it look a little bit more, I guess, sparkly. And I have a few alcohol markers I could try to add in to it as well and see how that turns out. Let me see what I got over here. Might go in with a little bit of this kind of processed blue color and just kind of dot that around in a few areas. And it probably would have been a better idea to use alcohol markers because get more of kind of that dotted look, I guess. But I mean, it's fine. I have this lapis lazuli. I don't know. Just playing around until I kind of like how it's going, and you know, making this up as I go. Need a lot lighter of a color. Try Coral Sea and see how that goes. Okay, I think that's pretty much as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna go in with the Sharpie. It's just a white creative marker, and I'm not sure if these are acrylic or not, but I gotta give it a good shake and start adding this kind of concentrated toward the center. And maybe it's kind of giving it that sparkly effect, I don't know. I should have left well enough alone, but it's no fun just like, you know, not experimenting sometimes. I like that a lot, actually. I'm glad I kind of decided to add a little something extra to the sleeve because it kind of looks a little more, I guess, interesting, you know. It's not as boring, so I'm glad I did it. It's really cool. I guess I'm gonna kind of stop here and maybe hopefully get some more work on this page done, because I'm having a lot of fun working on it so far, and maybe have this one finished by August, you know, so that'll be nice. But I had so much fun just kind of working on a few different things, and this was, you know, throughout, I think, 3 days maybe, give or take, that I was just working on some works in progress. And I think, yeah, just they were all works in progress. I don't think I started anything new. But I hope it was a little more interesting than just watching me work on one thing, you know, throughout the whole video. I just like adding a little bit of variety, and it also keeps me kind of picking up things that normally I may not be working on for, you know, a while, like getting back to it. So it just kind of keeps me going, and I really like, you know, getting things done. So anyway, I just had a good time coloring on some coloring pages, and thank y'all so much, and until the next video, bye y'all.